Welcome everyone to the weekly deep dive number 8. This week we got MLB is just started up. We got some more NBA stuff. Finishing up the tourney. Then some disappointing Cats talk, and then we have our NFL mock draft. So we'll start off with the top five. Landon, take it away.
Yeah. Um, the Cavs and Thunder have both reached 60 wins. The Thunder did it about a week and a half ago, but the Cavs did it 2 nights ago. Both have been very dominant all year. Kind of expected them to be probably the only two teams to reach 60 wins. But yeah, both clear-cut one seeds. Probably going to see them at least in the final eight, maybe in the two conference championships. Who knows?
Impressive for both those teams.
But yeah, sticking with the NBA, the Grizzlies have, for some reason, fired their head coach. They're having the best season they've had in 4 or 5 years. Maybe Dallas could give us some insight at some point about why. But
Yeah,
like late season firing, usually you don't see it this late in the season, especially when you're a top five team in the conference.
that's an odd move with the playoffs coming up. Definitely doesn't matter. I know Dallas probably won't be happy about that.
Yeah, but over to I guess college football. Yeah, Colorado extended Deion Sanders for the next 5 years. He's the second highest paid college football coach right now after this extension, behind LSU's Brian Kelly.
Yeah, you because there was all those talks about him going to the NFL, but I
Yeah,
guess
like the Cowboys, the Raiders.
he's staying because of Shiloh. I'm guessing Shiloh Sanders.
I
Is he
think
or is he?
I think Shiloh's going to the draft. I don't think he has any eligibility left, but I'm not
Okay.
sure. He may have a year of eligibility, and like if he doesn't get drafted, play again.
Surprised he's not following his kids.
Well, it also depends like where they go. If Shadur goes in the top two, like I'm thinking he's going to, the Browns have Kevin Stefanski. They're not going to get a new coach. The Giants just hired a new coach. The Patriots just hired a new coach. The Jags probably won't get rid of Peterson. The Raiders just hired a new coach. The Jets just hired a new coach. The Panthers like their coach. The Saints don't know what they're doing. And the Bears just hired a new coach. So all the top 10, I don't think he's going to get on those. And Shiloh, there's no telling where he's going to go. He could go somewhere and then they just don't draft him. So I think he's just probably waiting to see what's happening.
Yeah, I agree. So more season-ending injuries,
Yeah,
and
LaMelo Ball out for the year for the like fifth straight season.
mm,
Um, and then we'll get into some other NBA drama. It's been a very dramatic week in the league. But back to the NFL. John Harbaugh got an extension. I'm sure you're not happy to see that because he tends to hate the Bengals and mess with y'all a lot.
we've been okay against them. So he always is an annoying coach, though.
It's mainly his quarterback.
Yeah, honestly.
But I think he's just, and I don't know if it's his fault. They're just a dirty team.
Oh yeah,
The Ravens do not play clean football ever.
yeah. And the Ravens nor the Steelers. It's just kind of an AFC North thing.
Yeah, the Browns just do what they can. They're just drowning in their own pool.
Yeah, they're just the Browns.
Like I talked about last week, the NBA is drowning in their own pool. So are the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, that's definitely fitting. Well, coming out of the top five, we got the MLB started up last week. Last Thursday was opening day. Um,
Yeah, my Padres are undefeated, baby.
yeah, the Reds are 2-2, but looking up after the Reds started using the torpedo bats last night, they put up 14 points on offense. Um, Definitely a lot of pop early in the season, especially with these new bats. I mean, Aaron Judge already has 4 home runs. He had 3 home runs. Was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember.
Yep,
But
yesterday.
yeah, something like that. And then the guy, because I know the Yankees put up like 20 on the Brewers. I can't. It might have been Saturday
That's
or
not that
something.
that doesn't say that much. The Brewers are horrible.
No, they weren't last year. It's kind of been a shock this year. Um,
Yeah, and like Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr. were using him yesterday. They didn't score a lot of points, but Machado had 2 runs. Great for my fantasy baseball team and my team as a whole.
Yeah, talk about
Um,
good for my fantasy baseball team. Daily Cruz was 4 for 5 last night with 2 home runs and a double and a
what
single.
pick did you what pick
Killing it.
did you have to take him at?
I took him. I think I was picked 3 or 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say I took Machado because I had the 12th pick in the first. I had the last pick in the first round. I took Machado.
Mm, yeah, that's a rough spot. Yeah, you won't get any of those top guys for sure.
Well, I
Um,
didn't. It was either Machado or Judge, and I took Machado because he stays healthy. Like Judge had to sit out last year, so I was not gonna take him.
yeah, that's a hard decision, honestly, especially with so many injuries. I'm surprised to see Suarez. Suarez has 4 home runs too.
I got
He had two
Suarez on
home
the
runs
team
yesterday.
too. I
Yeah,
got them both. I got them back to back.
yeah. Suarez having an up year so far. I mean, it's only been a couple of games, but definitely a lot. I mean, the standings are kind of what you'd expect, except in the National League Central. With you got the Cardinals up top. But you got Dodgers and Padres are undefeated. I think are they the only two undefeated teams? No, the Yankees.
Dodgers, Yankees, and Padres.
Yeah. And we still have some winless teams. We still have the Twins that are 0-4, and the Braves and the Brewers. They're all 0-4,
I
0-5.
the Braves are awful.
Yeah, that is a rough start to the season for sure. Reds 2-2. We had 2 losses blown because of the relief pitching. That's definitely our weakness. Um, but our
Why is Tyler
offense has been
Stevenson
good.
out? He's my best catcher.
Yeah, he's on the IL for maybe 10 to 15 days, I think.
Yeah,
He
well, I'm
can't,
not gonna drop him. I'm just gonna deal without a catcher for now.
yeah.
My other catcher just doesn't play today. They play tomorrow, so I guess I'll
Mm.
just deal with that one for today.
Yeah, with fantasy baseball, you have to set your lineup every day. I mean, it's
Yeah, I mean, I'm
nonstop.
used to doing that with the NBA fantasy. I have to set it every day too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is the first time I've done MLB fantasy. So this is kind of fun. Yeah, I mean strong starts for a lot of teams kind of I mean, we'll definitely see a lot more pop in the bats with these torpedo bats, so it'd be interesting to
I mean,
see
we've
if they
got
keep them.
150 games left. We got a long way to go.
Oh yeah. Just there's always like, you got the early trends and then some teams will switch. The bad teams won't like the other teams will start out strong and then fall off, so we'll see.
One thing I can say is the White Sox will not win the World Series.
What are they? They're two and
They are
hey,
literally.
they're
Do you not
top of their
remember last
division.
year?
They're top
No,
of
but
their division.
do you not remember last year?
Well, yeah, but I mean, you never know. A year can make a
It's not gonna
difference.
change. It's not gonna change.
They can tank. They tanked. I don't know how the draft went, but
Bro, there's like 37 rounds. If you're tanking in the MLB draft, you're crazy.
yeah, I don't know much about the MLB draft. But
It's like literally like 40 rounds or something like that.
yeah,
Do you know Patrick Mahomes got drafted in the 37th round?
wasn't there another guy who got drafted in the MLB? Was it Russell Wilson?
Yeah, Russell Wilson. Well, Russell Wilson got drafted pretty high. He got drafted in like the 6th or 7th round.
Yeah, but he chose to play in the NFL.
Well, what they do is that well, Mahomes was supposed to go in like the 6th or 7th round, and they asked him, they were like, "Well, how much money is it going to take for you to not play football and come here?" And he told them a number that they didn't want to hear, so he got drafted in like the 37th round by the Twins, and they called him and were like, "Hey, we know you want to play football in college. We'll see you in 3 years." And then he got drafted to the NFL, so
Mm,
he went to the NFL.
I gotcha. Yeah, I don't know how that stuff works. That's kind of crazy getting drafted in 2 different leagues. Well, one thing that I wanted to add about the uh the red season I forgot to bring up in our other segment. I'll just add this in. So we start off 2-2 so far. Loving the energy that Terry Francona has brought. This team seems really revitalized and a lot better than when David Bell was there last year. They just seem to have a lot more of a fight in them, and the off the bats are definitely popping. Especially we had 14-2 against the Texans, first game against the Texans. Love to see it. This we're not as aggressive on the base paths, but we have taken more walks and just all over offense is just a lot better. We were a little bit more consistent with scoring points, and it's good to see. Starting pitching has been great. Hunter Green had a great start, his our first opening day start. He went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, like 11 strikeouts. Absolutely killed it. And then Brady Singer, our new acquisition from the offseason, he was absolutely dominant in his first start. It was 7 innings, 1 hit, no runs given up. I just love to see it. So I love our starting pitching. Is I'm blanking on the other two starters, but I mean, it's nothing notably bad. They had really solid starts. Relief pitching has thrown away our two losses are because of relief pitching. We had leads and they were just blown late in the game by bad relief pitching. So that's going to be our weakness all year, and we're going to need a lot from our starters. So 7, 8 innings from our starters would be really nice, and I think that would really help this team till Alexis Diaz comes back. We're missing our closer. Um, when he comes back, that'll definitely be a big boost because we don't really have a definite closer right now. But I think I think we can be a playoff team this year for the first time in a while. I think I can say that. If with Francona, I think we can be a little bit more consistent. He's been to World Series. He's won World Series. So I think he's a great manager to be in this position. And we'll see what happens. But that's kind of my beginning of season look ahead for the Reds and what I think so far in these first. This has only been 4 games, but you can already tell it's a lot better team than last year. But we're gonna move
Yeah,
into
I got
NBA stuff if
I
you
got
want to.
Yes, sir. Cannot wait. Very, very dramatic week. Uh, Dylan Brooks got ejected. Don't remember exactly what he did. It may have been he just got in two technicals. But bro was trying to throw hands with the refs. Bro was swinging at a referee and had to be held back by like 6 guys.
Hey, you were telling me about that big fight they had.
Oh, that wasn't even in this game. That was in a different game. But yeah, 7 ejected from the Wolves Pistons game. Isaiah Stewart, Marcus Sasser, Ron Holland, Dante DiVincenzo, and Naz Reid, along with 2 coaches, all ejected. Um,
Damn.
and then Isaiah Stewart suspended 2 games, and the other 4 are all suspended 1 game. I don't think Dante DiVincenzo should be suspended. They were right for ejecting him because he did throw the first punch, but I don't think he should be suspended because nor should Naz Reid. I think the Pistons players deserve it because they were all 3 taking like pushing and punching Dante DiVincenzo into the crowd. Like there was nothing he could do. Like he was just getting thrown into the crowd.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I can't. I gotta see that. I haven't seen the clip, but
Oh boy, watched it live. But Dyson Daniels breaks the Hawks single season steals record. I think he has like 218. And I believe it was either Josh Smith, Jeff Teague, or Joe Johnson's record. I can't remember who was exactly. But yeah, very impressive from a guy that we probably didn't think much of, and James probably never even heard of.
yeah, definitely. I have not heard of him.
But let's get on to my updated award predictions. Still going with Shea for MVP. Tight race. Jokic actually passed him up a couple weeks ago, but I think he's got it back now. Um, Defensive Player of the Year. I'm actually going to go with Dyson Daniels. I would have probably told you Victor Wembanyama, but he's been out. Would have told you Anthony Davis, but he's been out. Rudy Gobert, but he's fallen off. Draymond Green, probably, if you're going to give it to a big, you're going to have to give it to him. But I think it's time it goes to a guard, and I think Dyson Daniels should be that person. Maybe Lou Dort out of the Thunder, but I think we should give it to Dyson Daniels personally. I mean, he's the only person to break a defensive record this year. So, let's see. Most improved player. I get why we want to give it to Cade Cunningham because he's got his team from the bottom of the East to the 5 seed in the East, and he is like up in every stat, but he's only averaging like 2 more points, 1 more assist, like half a rebound. Like he's not doing that much more. But I will say it's probably going to go to him. And then six man Peyton Pritchard. There's a lot of guys out here, but I think Peyton Pritchard's just running away with that. Um, and then I think I put did I put Kenny Atkinson for coach of the year?
Yeah, you did.
All right. Kenny Atkinson for coach of the year. I think it should be unanimous. The Cavs barely made the playoffs last year, and this year they are the top seed in the East and best record in the NBA behind the Thunder by 1 or 2 games. Like it's not. I don't think it's close. I think he should get it. I could see why you'd give it to the Thunder's coach because they have the best record, but they also had the best record last year, and they have the best player in the league. I could also see an argument for the Pistons coach because he's done a great job getting them where they're at. All right, it's time. James is going to give me. There's six categories here. He's going to give me a category of NBA all-time stats leaders. I get to guess the top five. There's 30 possible answers, so five from each category. Um, so put a little skin in the game. What do I get if I get all 30 right?
I'll give you $20 because I don't think you can do
Oh,
it.
you don't think I can do it? All right. Give me the first category.
So we got NBA career leaders and records for points.
Points. I mean, one is LeBron. That's the easiest thing ever. Uh,
Yep.
Kareem is two, Karl Malone's three, Kobe's four, and then Jordan's five.
There you go. Now we got assists, top five.
Um, I know LeBron's on here, but I'm gonna start at one. I'm gonna go Stockton, Chris Paul, Jason Kidd, LeBron James is 1 through 4. Now I cannot remember for the life of me who number five is. It might be Magic, but
One
it might be someone else.
one assist separates 5 and 6.
Oh, really? I'm gonna go with Steve Nash.
Yep, there you go.
All right,
Now we're gonna do rebounds, total rebounds.
rebounding. I think let's see. Um, Wilt Chamberlain's got to be number one
Yeah, by a couple
because he has the
thousand.
highest. Yeah, he has the highest career average.
Yeah,
Um, then I'm gonna go Bill Russell, Kareem, Elvin Hayes, and I can't remember if it's Malone or Duncan. Give me Moses Malone.
there you go. Another top five. Looking good so far.
15 out of 15
Now we'll do steals.
deals. This is one that LeBron hasn't cracked yet. I know for a fact he hasn't cracked this one. He is number 6 on this list. So that means it is Stockton, Paul, and Kidd at 1, 2, 3, just like assists. But Michael Jordan's at 4, and Gary Payton is number 5.
That was too easy. This is too easy for you. It's like you're looking
you
at
should have
it.
thought about you
It's
should have
like you're
thought about
looking
this
at it.
before.
It's like you're looking at it, bro. It's kind of
But
suspicious.
I'm not. I do you realize how much 2K and how much I know about this stuff?
Yeah, I know. So now we got
2K
3 points.
2K has all this.
Three
Three pointers.
pointers, pretty easy. Number one.
I mean Steph, James Harden, Damian Lillard.
Wow. You sure about that? You want a second chance on that one?
No, I know for a fact that Damian Lillard is there.
He's not three.
It doesn't have to be in order. Well, Ray Allen's number 3.
Okay. I thought we were
And
going in
then
order.
oh well if we're going in order, Steph Curry, James Harden, Ray Allen, Damian Lillard. Number 5. I can't remember if he passed Reggie Miller last year or not. Give me Clay Thompson.
Yeah. You've had them all five in order each time.
Oh, well, I wasn't going for order. I was just like I knew points was in order and I knew assists was in order. I was just kind of trying to give you the top 5. But
I
I think
got
our
you.
last one is the hardest one. The problem.
Blocks. Yeah. All time
Yeah.
blocks.
This one's the hardest for me because this is one that it didn't start getting recorded until 73 and a lot of the best shot blockers were playing before and after that. So I got to think about like oh, well, I know Hakeem's number 1 and it's by like 6,000.
Yeah. Yeah. It's exactly about 6,000.
Um I don't know number 2, but I know Kareem is number 3,
Yeah.
and Mark Eaton is number 4.
Mhm.
Is Dikembe number 2?
Yep.
Okay, and then let's see. It's either Patrick Ewing or David Robinson. Give me for the win.
You sure about that?
I'm gonna try David Robinson.
That you're wrong.
No, no. Who was it?
It's not Robinson or Ewing.
Okay, then it's Tim Duncan.
Yep.
Brother, I was one off. 29 for 30. What the fuck is that shit?
29 for 30. It comes down to the last one of all things.
Yeah, of all times. Oh, my
You
mouse died.
said you said David Robinson and Patrick Ewing, and I was like, I said, are you sure? I
They're
was
6
like,
and 7, aren't they?
yeah, they are 6 and 7. Then
Of course
Shaq
they
at
are.
8. Tree Rawlings, what a name. Tree
Tree Rawlings
Rawlings.
is crazy.
Yeah, if you did top 5, that'd be or top 10, that'd be really hard.
Top 10 would be insanely hard. The only one I would probably get is points and threes.
Yeah. Yeah, next time we should do ABA. We should
ABA might
do
make it a little bit easier.
really? Could you do the ABA top 5 blocks right now?
ABA top 5 blocks. Um, I'm trying to remember who all played in the ABA. Like that it would have recorded because they didn't get recorded until 73. I can't remember when the split was. So,
Oh, it's
like, do you need do
71,
you want
71 to
do you want
72 for ABA.
do you want them combined or like just the ABA?
No, I was just saying ABA.
Like, wait, like from just one season or all time ABA?
It's all time.
Okay, Artis Gilmore's number 1 by double whatever number 2 is.
Yeah.
Um, Julius Irving is in the top 5, but he's not number 2. I think he's number 4.
Yeah.
Is Caldwell Jones in there?
He's number 2.
Okay. Darnell Hillman.
Number 5.
Okay, and then
That leaves you at number
the
3.
last one, number 3. His first name's Billy, but I can't remember his last name.
Paltz.
Paltz, Billy Paltz.
Billy
I almost said
Paltz.
Cunningham by accident. Like Billy Cunningham didn't play in the ABA, so.
I've heard of Irving and Gilmore. That's about it.
All right, you ready to move on to the greatest segment of all time?
The NCAA tournament.
The
Yeah.
NCAA tournament.
All ones. I mean, who would have thought all ones?
Me.
Really? I
I
mean,
mean, they're
these
the
are
4 best teams in basketball. Like they're like you give me any other team, you throw any other team at me, and I'm like any 4 of these teams will beat them. Like it's
yeah.
like they just look so good.
Yeah, that's the way I was in my bracket. Like, you see these teams come up and you're like, oh, they're just so far ahead of the rest. But like you had that March Madness in the back of your head, like, telling you, oh, there's gonna be an upset. And it's like it
Like
never
for me,
happened.
making my bracket, my Sweet 16 was almost like 1 through 4 all the way down.
Yeah. I should have done that. I just couldn't I couldn't stop telling myself like there's gonna be an upset. They can't make it all the way.
Like I
But
predicted Michigan State and Ole Miss to be in there, but the rest of mine was just ones and twos, ones and twos, ones and twos.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was definitely I couldn't believe um how bad Alabama got whooped. That
I
was
was so happy. I
yeah, I
was
was happy.
so happy. And you know
But
what I was even happier about? Houston whopping Tennessee.
yeah, both of those teams got
Holy.
whopped. That was definitely surprising. Were those both 20-point losses?
Yeah, Tennessee lost by 25, and I think Alabama almost lost by 30.
That's crazy. I mean,
Duke
Houston's
just,
defense is serious. Wait, was that were they against Duke or was Tennessee?
yeah, Tennessee was Houston and Alabama
Oh,
was
okay.
Duke.
I got him thrown off. Tennessee, the Houston game was really low scoring compared to the others.
Yeah, but Florida being down 11 and going on an 18-2 run to take the lead by 6,
It's impressive.
That was insane. And Walter Clayton scored 12 of those 18 by himself.
Yeah,
That Florida team is just crazy. And then Auburn had a long battle. The fact, like, again, like I said before, they held Janai Broom pretty much scoreless and got him in foul trouble in the first half, and then he scored 24 in the second half,
yeah.
and they won.
That's first kind of life we've seen on him in a while because he struggled in the
He's
tournament a
struggled
little bit.
since they lost in the SEC tournament. He's struggled since then. The
Yeah,
last time he had a good game was against probably Kentucky.
yeah, I agree. Who do you think's the best right now between Broom, Flag, and Clayton?
The big man bias in me wants to go Cooper Flag,
Yeah,
but the college basketball fan in me says Walter Clayton Jr.
that's what I'm thinking. I mean, he can just do it
I think
all.
it's gotta be Clayton. Like he's 6'5". He can, and we were talking about this in the car last night. Guys that are that tall can just pull up from anywhere inside the 3-point line and it's going in. And that's what he does.
Yeah,
He he saw a semi contested layup and decided, no, I'm going to go shoot a fadeaway three instead, and just drained it.
it's crazy.
Like this
He
dude
just
is wild.
he can hit from anywhere for sure, and I agree with you.
Now, I will say Cooper Flag is a different breed of big man because he can do everything. He's as fast as a guard. He can guard all five positions. He can play all five positions. Uh, and maybe I'm just saying Walter Clayton because I don't like Duke. But personally, I think Cooper Flag has the potential to be the best player in college basketball. You know, I would have told you months ago that it was Janai Broom all the way. Even up till about the beginning of the SEC tournament, I told you it was Janai Broom. But once Janai Broom got out of the SEC and he played against Michigan, he played against Michigan State. They had Creighton. They had, even when they played, I think it was SIU Edwardsville. Like he had those tough matchups and he struggled. And I think he was just so used because the SEC bigs and then the rest of the bigs are completely different. SEC bigs, they're all stretch bigs. They're all offensive dominant players. They don't have the defense that the guards in the SEC have. And he gets out and he plays Danny Wolf at Michigan, and Danny Wolf gives him a great game because he is a defensive big man. So
Yep.
I think that's why Cooper Flag is better than Janai Broom because he can take the adversity. He's used to playing every position of the ball, and he's used to playing against every style of player.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think I mean I wasn't saying Cooper Flag because I don't like Duke. I mean I'm gonna be honest. I'd really just I prefer Clayton over Flag because I hate Duke.
Yeah,
I don't like Florida, but I hate Duke more.
I like, and I hate that we're about to have like three, like Houston. Kentucky fans are counting on Houston right now
Yeah,
because we're looking at two of our biggest rivals and the best team in our like the one of the best teams in our conference at winning the championship, and then you got Houston, who's basically got 90% of America behind them right now.
yeah, yeah.
Because
Houston's
it's
definitely the
like we're
big
watching the
underdog.
NFL again. It's like we're watching the NFL playoffs again. Everybody's cheering for the Commanders. Everybody's cheering for Houston. That's what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I
And
agree
if it's
with you.
Duke, Florida, it's gonna be like we're watching the Chiefs and the Eagles, and we're all gonna be cheering for Florida, like we were all cheering for the Eagles.
Yeah, yeah, definitely a Houston. Oh, it's I haven't. What's the Final Four matchups? I didn't pay attention.
Houston and Duke, and then Florida and Auburn.
Okay. Yeah, I say everybody's rooting for Florida and Houston. I say Houston's probably the underdog of all the ones.
I don't know. I was
It's
talking
really close
to
though. I mean,
I was talking to Christian last night. Houston's got the best defense in the country by far.
yeah, easily.
Um, Duke has not played a defense even close to them at all this season, especially with them being in the ACC and them having probably the easiest road to the Final Four. Alabama's the best defense they've played, and they're the worst defense in the SEC. Like it's
Yeah,
Florida and Auburn. I like this is how I think it's gonna go. Florida and Auburn are gonna beat each other up, and it's gonna be a close game. Houston is going to try to wear Duke down, but they're just gonna put the ball in Cooper Flag's hands, which just so happens to be the weakest position for Houston. Their four-man is their weakest position, and
Yeah,
Cooper Flagel just abused that. And I think Duke ends up blowing out Houston and gets an easy. It's gonna be like 20, I think it's gonna be like 2015 all over again. You're gonna see that Kentucky Wisconsin matchup in the Florida Auburn game, and they're gonna beat each other up, wear each other down, and 2 days later they go into a fresh Duke team that's just going to blow them out.
yeah, yeah. I'd say you're right.
So
I like that
yeah,
prediction.
I see Duke winning right now just because they're I think they're gonna be fresh and they're gonna have that advantage on the bigs. But I would love to see. I honestly, I would love out of these four teams, I want Florida to win just because of Walter Clayton.
Yeah, I think he deserves it. He's played the best, I think, out of anybody in the tournament. Um, what else? I had something else I was gonna say, but I can't remember. So I guess we can. If you get anything else,
Go
if
to
you
the
don't have
Cats talk.
anything else, yeah. How about our worst game of the worst way to end? What a great season. I mean,
We play our worst game of the year. Like we lost to Alabama by almost 30 once this year, and this was by far worse.
yeah, we just
Like
weren't
this
there
was
from the start.
the only player that had a not I won't even say a good game that had a decent game is Amari Williams, and it just didn't matter.
Yeah,
We couldn't shoot, we couldn't play defense, we were fouling, we were turning the ball over. Like it was awful.
yeah, it was rough. I mean, even from the start, we just seemed like out of it. Like we just Tennessee was on a different level than we were,
Well, it
and it
started
was
out
really
we were up like
noticeable.
five. We were up like 5-2 to start, and then Andrew Carr airballs a three, and then Igor Milicic drains a three, and then Kobe Bryant airballs a three. Two airball threes back to back by two of our most consistent shooters, and then you see Tennessee start hitting, and they go up 12, and then I'm like, it sucks. We're
Yeah,
like, and when we get down by 12, we have not been down by 12 this year and won except for two games, Gonzaga and Duke, and guess what?
those
They
were
were in
a long time
November
ago.
and December.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. It's definitely. It was like we would cut it to 12 or 10 or something, and then all of a sudden they start nailing shots right back, and
And
it's
in the
like,
second half, we got within five, and then Chaz Lanier hit 6 shots straight. I don't know how he only had 17 points. I felt like he was hitting every shot they made.
yeah, I agree. It was just we didn't have a single bit of defense.
But it was great to see them get absolutely pummeled in the Elite Eight or in the Final Four, or yeah, Elite Eight.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, it's first time we've played to our seed in a while, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, yeah. You expect a 3 seed to make the Sweet 16, and you expect them to lose to a two. I mean, we hit expectation,
Yeah, and
and that's better than we've done in a long time.
I think we like outplayed our like the talent we had, honestly, because I
Oh
don't think
yeah,
we
for sure.
yeah. So looking ahead to next year, I was pulling this up on my phone. We got returning, we have or incoming or returning so far. We have Perry, Owe, Noah, Colin Chandler, Brandon Garrison, Cam Williams, Caden Lewis, Malachi Moreno, and Jasper Johnson.
Yep. Like I told you all last week, Cam Johnson is that guy that's 6'8". We need those guys between 6'7" and 6'10", and he brings that in. Hopefully, he is going to be skilled enough after playing in the A10 with Tulane, where their toughest matchup is Memphis every year. Hopefully, he comes in and is ready to go. Um, but he'll have all summer to train. And hopefully we can get more bigs to keep Garrison out of the starting lineup.
Yeah, I agree.
And I would say
Some
I would like to see enough bigs to where we don't have to start Malachi Moreno because I don't think he's ready for that.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be a freshman, so a true
Although
freshman.
he did, although he did just win a state championship.
Yeah, I saw he dominant. He had like 17 points, something. I can't remember the stat line, but it's pretty good for a high school player.
He had more rebounds than points. We'll just say that.
Yeah, that was nasty. Some other targets that I know KSR has on here. We got Magoon Guas out of San
Yep.
Diego State. Have you know anything about him?
Yeah, he played with Lamont Butler a couple years ago. He was on the Final Four team 2 years ago, I believe. I believe he'll be a senior transfer. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Um,
So a 4-year guy. I like that.
yeah, yeah, he's a little older, but I like him.
And some other ones are Alvaro Fulgurius from Robert Morris, forward, 6'9".
Yeah, I don't know anything about Robert Morris this year.
Then we got Silas Damari Jr. from Georgia.
Yep, yep, he put up 20 on us when we lost to Georgia at home, or
Yeah.
at Georgia maybe.
Then Yaxel Lindeborg from UAB. It's a forward, 6'9".
Yeah, don't know anything about him, but he's 6'9", so we'll take him.
Yeah, and then Taylor Bolden, but Bowl Bowen. Bro, that is a crazy name.
Yeah,
He's 6'10" from Florida State. Big
we'll
guy.
take him.
Keyshawn Hall from UCF, 6'7"
We'll take
guard.
him. We'll take him.
Abidi okay, bro. These names are crazy. Ab Abdi Bashir Jr. from Monmouth, six
We'll take him.
seven, another big guy. Then we got a little short guard, well, short, 6'1", but the shortest of the bunch here, Jacoby Gillespie from Maryland.
We'll take him.
So
We'll take them all.
see see how many we can get. I know Pope got a lot of people last year in a short amount of time, so he's got a full transfer portal this year. So
Yes,
see
he
how that
does.
goes. But you got anything else to add about the Cats?
No, I think it's time that we start talking about what's coming up in about a week and a half, the NFL draft.
Yes, sir. So we got our little NFL draft we've agreed on here. I'll run through them real quick. Oh wait, I had the wrong thing pulled up. Where'd it go? There it is. So just run through real quick, then we'll go back over it. So we have the at one we got the Titans taking Cam Ward. At two we have the Browns taking Shadur Sanders. Then the Giants taking Abdul Carter. Patriots taking Travis Hunter. Jags taking Mason Graham. Raiders taking Ashton Genty. Jets taking Armad Mimbu.
Bow.
Panthers Mimbao. My bad. I should not be. I need a pronunciation guide. We have the Jets. We already said that one. Panthers with. Okay, do you know how to say that? McMillan. I'll just call him that.
Taro McMillan, I think is what we're gonna go with.
And then Saints, Jalen Walker, and Bears with Will Campbell. So go back up to the top. Titans with Cam Ward. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think it's pretty much guaranteed at this point that Cam Ward may not be better than Shadur, but he's gonna go over Shadur because
Yeah.
Shadur has kind of gave a small list of teams that he will/won't play for, and I'm pretty sure the Titans are on that list. Um, but honestly, I think Cam Ward's a better fit there. He's a kind of like stand there and throw the ball kind of quarterback, kind of like what the Titans like to have.
Yeah.
While Shadur gets out of the pocket and gets more mobile, like what the Browns like to have. Um, a
It's a
lot of people
shame.
have said, "What?"
It was a shame that Will Levis didn't work out there. I wanted to see him do good, but he just kept getting worse.
Yeah, it's all that mayo he puts in his coffee.
Honestly, it's gross.
My thing with the Browns taking Shadur is the fact that they do have 1 year left on Deshaun's contract, and they did just sign Kenny Pickett. I'm thinking they still draft Shadur, start Shadur, and have Pickett as a safety valve because Deshaun will be out all year.
Yeah, I like that. What do you
And
think about?
then yeah, Carter to the Giants and Hunter to the Patriots. I think you could interchange those two because the Giants did talk about Hunter to pair with Neighbors and then put on the defensive side because they don't really have a good corner. But I think that they need an edge more than they need a corner, so I think they'll end up taking Abdul Carter, which leaves the Patriots taking Hunter, which I think is the draft pick that makes the most sense out of all these top tens because they have Christian Gonzalez on one side. They need another one. But other than that, I think right now their best receiver. Actually, I don't know if I could tell you a single Patriots receiver. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, I was thinking, and I was like, I don't know anyone on that Patriots
Yeah,
receiving
I was
core.
about to tell you somebody, and I don't know.
Did they get
Really
somebody
couldn't
in
tell you.
free agency that was good, or am I
No,
wrong?
no, no, they did not. No.
They didn't
Oh,
get.
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I was
Stephon
about to
Diggs.
say. I was thinking they got a big wide receiver, but
But they
they
need
need
somebody
somebody young.
besides that. They
Yeah,
can't rely on Stephon Diggs and Hunter Henry.
I wonder if Travis Hunter will play both sides of the ball in the NFL. That'll be
I think
interesting
he
to see.
will.
You think
I
so?
think he will. He wants to.
Yeah. And Mason Graham, I mean, always. I mean, best available. I don't know. I mean, Jags
Yeah,
don't need a running back.
they need offensive linemen, but they're too dumb to take one. Um, they need wide receivers, but they're too dumb to take one. They need edge rushers, but I think they need interior first because they do have Josh Allen.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think it is going to be best available, and I think Mason Graham is that best available guy. I could see them taking Armand Mimbaugh, but I think they're too dumb to take an offensive lineman.
Yeah, I think. Oh, where's Mason Graham out of? I forget.
Michigan.
Michigan. Yeah. And then Raiders with Ashton Genty. I think that if he's there, I think Raiders take best available. And they
Yeah.
need a running back. Obviously, Zamir White is not the key piece. Um,
Yeah,
I think.
I think you could also interchange Mimbaugh there, and I think you could potentially see Will Johnson come into play in the 5 through 10 gap because he is the best corner available.
Yeah.
Uh, you could see him pop in there, especially with the Panthers, the Saints, because they really don't have anybody. The Bears do have Jalen Johnson, and I could see them doing it, but if this offseason has anything to predict, the Bears are gunning for offensive linemen. They've traded for two, they signed one, and I think they're just going to go ahead and draft one as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, all these teams really need a lot. I think the Bears need the least of anybody.
Honestly, I think out of these teams, the Giants need the least.
Really?
I think they need all defense. I think they can just throw offense out the window. I think their offense will be fine if you pair them with the defense.
Yeah. Who'd they sign as
Like
quarterback? It was Russell.
they got Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, which I think you'll be fine. Tyrone Tracy proved himself to be a running back one last year. You've got Malik Neighbors,
Yeah.
Darius Slayton,
I don't
Wandale
know.
Robinson. Like
I
you've
don't know how their
got
line is.
their line is where I'm worried, and I think that's why they need to consider drafting an offensive lineman there. Um, honestly, if I'm the Giants, I would think about taking trade offers because I think that the Jets may try to trade up, the Panthers might try to trade up, even the Jags may try and trade up and
Yeah.
trade down and take an offensive lineman on top of what you could get for that number 3 pick because I think taking Abdul Carter at edge for you is a waste when you do have Kayvon Thibodeau who's still not cracked his potential yet. You still have Dexter Lawrence who is slowing down but is still elite. Um, when you could wait until the second round because there are some very, very good D linemen in the second round, like Deion Walker. Um, and then,
Tuamau.
yeah. And then we've got,
Jack
I
Sawyer
believe there's a
too.
couple. Jack Sawyer will probably go first round, but if he does fall, you've got him there.
Yeah.
Like you've got plenty of guys in the second round you could wait for. I would, if I'm the Giants, I'm trading if anybody from the Jags to Bears offer me a pick, like offer me their first round pick and something else for my number 3 pick, I'm taking it.
Yeah. I like that. There's a lot of flexibility. I mean, I don't know.
I think the Patriots out of these 10 teams, I think the Patriots are best set up for success right now without doing anything
Yeah.
because they do have the most promising quarterback out of everybody up here minus maybe the Bears. They do have probably the better secondary so far before drafting Travis Hunter. They
Yeah.
have probably the best number 1 receiver on this list with Diggs minus the Giants, but Like I don't think the Patriots should trade their pick. I really don't. Like I think they need. I don't think they trade up. I don't think they trade down. I think they should be fine if either Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter gets drafted ahead. I think they should be okay with whoever else they get
Yeah. Yeah, I like
of
that.
those two. Now, what gets funny is say the Browns draft Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter, and Travis Hunter goes to like the third one goes to the Giants. Then the Patriots, the best player available is Shadur Sanders. Do they trade down at that point and let somebody take Shadur Sanders, or do they go ahead and take Mason Graham at 4 and let Shadur keep falling?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many possibilities. I mean,
My thing is I could totally see the Raiders like drafting Shadur Sanders and be
oh
like,
yeah.
oh, Gino's gonna retire.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you know the Raiders want Shadur Sanders, because I mean,
They
wasn't
just
Tom Brady
yeah
working out with him or whatever?
yeah it's like they want him.
Yeah. I mean, people say Genty could fall, Shadur. I mean, there's so many storylines. Like, it's so hard to know till you get there. I mean, we saw last year with that random QB run, like when the Falcons took Penix. Like,
Dude, last year was wild because it was supposed to be Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, nobody else,
yeah, and we had all
and
those
then and
terrible
then
QBs taken.
and then we see Penix go, we see McCarthy go, we see Knicks go, all in the top 10, and then all six of them like have successful years. It's
Yeah.
crazy, except
No,
for McCarthy because he was hurt.
I didn't mean to say awful, but like like projected position. Like they were not projected to go that early. And I mean,
No,
this year we could see a run for. I mean, you never know. Could be quarterbacks. I mean,
you're not going to see any other. I don't think you see any other quarterback go in the first round.
that's what we said last year. And we had
No, I
six.
figured they'd all go in the first round. I just didn't think they'd all go top 10.
Yeah, well,
If
you
anyone
don't know.
drafts Quinn Ewers, if anyone drafts Quinn Ewers in the first round, I will fly to wherever they are and punch that GM in the face.
Yeah, somebody's getting
He is the
fired if they draft me.
most overrated NFL prospect I have ever seen
Yeah,
pre-draft. He
I
may be
agree.
the next Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about? Let's do two bonus. Let's do Rams and Bengals. What we think they're drafting.
We're drafting an offensive lineman 1,000%. If we don't, I'm flying to LA and punching Sean McVay in the face.
What pick do you guys have?
24.
24. Yeah, we're at 17. I think. I mean, I hope we get. It depends who's there, but I mean, Malachi Starks is okay. I mean, Mike Green, I would be happy with that. Something defense. We need something defense, unless by some
No,
miracle
you need a
that
guard.
or a nice guard. I mean, there's good guards in the second round too, but I'll take a guard in the first. We need some kind of trenches. Honestly, I feel like I say this every year that we need trenches. But I mean,
Still got to replace Sam Hubbard.
yeah, there's some fantasy that like people keep saying that Genty's gonna fall to us.
Not
I
happening.
would, yeah, but you obviously take him if he's there. But
If he's there,
that's,
yes,
yeah,
yes, take him.
but we
Because
don't
if
need a
you
wide
pair
receiver or
him,
anything.
you pair his like trucking and speed with Chase Brown's catching and shiftiness, and you've got a mini version of what the Lions have.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I think drafting best available is the best option. I mean, we've seen it with the Raiders. They drafted Brock Bowers last year, and that ends up being a great pick. I mean, it's going to help them so much out, especially this year, depending how well they draft.
They
Um,
reached for him last year, and it worked out so well.
yeah. No, I don't think he was a reach. I think they got him at a good point. I think he was definitely the best tight end in the
Well, they
draft.
were the only team that had any need to draft him then, and everyone just thought they were going to draft a quarterback,
Yeah.
and they didn't.
Yeah, that's why I think drafting best available is the best option. And I think the Bengals have done that. We don't need to be reaching for anybody. So we'll see what happens there. But you got anything else on the draft, sir?
I think that's it on the draft, other than the fact that, again, I say if anybody reaches for Quinn Ewers or anybody else like Jackson Dart for that matter, I'll fly out there and punch you. I really
Yeah,
will.
I like that analysis.
Unless you're the Seahawks, 49ers, or Cardinals, I will applaud you and thank you for your stupidity.
Yeah, you gotta applaud the division rivals for making a dumb pick.
I love when division rivals make dumb picks, like the Cardinals taking Kyler. That's turned out horrible.
You just gotta get him off COD, and then he'll be okay.
That ain't gonna happen. Every time you get him off, they make a new game, and he's like, "Oh, gotta try it."
Yeah. Well, I think that'll conclude episode 8. Thank you guys for
Yeah.
watching, and we'll see you next week.